someone who has long raised, Mr. Chairman, concerns on overloading and road safety. And if you recall, this representation raised a lot of issues in my province, in Bulacan, with regard to these particular issues, Mr. Chairman, in last budget deliberations of DPWH. So I feel, Mr. Chairman, that this investigation is not just necessary, it is long overdue. Mr. Chairman, let me just point out 2-3 things on these particular issues that we are deliberating upon. I have heard so many things on this particular report. Unfortunately, wala pa nga po yung main report that will come out in April, Secretary, if I'm not mistaken. But at the end of the day, this is all about coming up with the legislation. And as a legislator, we wanted to get as much as possible all information available to us on how we'll be able to craft laws and ensure that the laws are being implemented properly. Mr. Chairman, this is not just about engineering or paperwork. It's about lives. It's about trust. It's about making sure that taxpayers' money is used properly and efficiently, and our people are safe. For someone who passes, no, itong mga bridges na ito every single day. Kahapon nasa Nueva Ecija po tayo ng Pic 1, tapos nagpunta tayo sa Florida Blanca. Marami po tayong tulay na nilalampasan. Yun nga pong sa NLEX, buti na lang kanina, finally inopen na yung 4 lanes. Kami po dun sa Bulacan, talagang hell-like yung buhay. Imagine ho, kasalanan ba ng mga tao yun na hindi man lang nakita yung malaking truck na yun, pinapasok nila, wala man lang nag-check, tapos magtuturuan na lang, papahirapan, at ewan ko, parang ang hilig natin na gusto pahirapan ng taong bayan. So, and again, this is a timely effort by our chair, and again, I commend our dear brother, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. Again, may question po ako, no, about retrofitting. Kanina panay banggit ni Senator Cayetano about retrofitting. I look at the definition of DPWH defining retrofitting. It's a type of work associated with strengthening of existing structures to comply with the latest standards, usually with the aid of new technology or introduction of new features to the old design. Itong table 1 na gusto ko pong ipakita, yung project cost, 2014, phase 1, 413 million, 2016, 236 million, 2019, 153 million. And then ito na, yung retrofitting works, first contract, 275 million, 2024, 115 million. Total of 390 million. So this is about 1/3 of the total project nitong bridge na ito. Correct me if I'm wrong, Secretary, or anyone can correct me if I'm wrong. Retrofitting is usually done years after construction to improve safety or performance. Is that a correct statement? Because in the case of this Cabagan Santa Maria Bridge, the retrofitting works was nag-start po siya less than 5 years from the construction phase. In fact, less than a month. Ano na po, no? Is this a usual practice, Secretary? Because on the average, how soon does DPWH start retrofitting works on a completed project, Secretary?
Well, to me, Your Honor, I think this is a little unusual because retrofitting works is actually being done when you are nearing the obsolescence of a structure in itself. No?
Exactly.
So,
we have yet to use this bridge.
But yeah, it's a little unusual because the retrofitting is actually being done during construction.
Thank you, Secretary.
May I, just on that, and I want to commend Senator Joel for researching the definition on DPWH. Sec, may discussion din kami, Senator, ni Yusek Pipo. Kasi the dictionary or Google meaning ng retrofit could either mean strengthening or repairing. Repairing meaning may kailangan kang i-repair, di ba? Or enhancement. So usually, pag enhancement, gobyerno magbabayad. Pero usually, pagka repair, at hindi pa turnover, hindi gobyerno magbabayad. But we're going to go there at some future time. But just to thank you for that
Yeah,
point.
thank you very much. And I'm going to that particular issue, Your Honor, Mr. Chairman, if I may refer to Table 2. When you look at the estimated useful life of public infrastructure assets, pag tinignan po natin yung bridges, nakalagay po dyan, concrete or steel. Ang nakalagay po, ito po'y galing din sa DPWH, ang estimated useful life of a public infrastructure ng mga tulay ay 40 years. 40 years. Now, binabanggit kanina ni Chairman Cayetano, Alan Cayetano, yung pagbabayad ng pamahalaan. I, of course, cannot forget our procurement law. Magkasama pa tayo, Brad, no, when we push for the procurement law. Yung contractor is obligated to repair any defects doon sa procurement law natin. No? Defects, yung liability period and address structural issues within the warranty. And in this case, if I'm not mistaken, at least 15 years yung warranty. No? So, again, looking at the cost of retrofitting works, 390 million, that's about 1/3 of the total project cost of 1.192 billion pesos. Ang question po, why did the DPWH proceed with this considerable amount without enforcing the warranty provisions of or establishing accountability first, Your Honor, Mr. Secretary?
Well, as I understand, Your Honor, this was a decision of the department at that time. But I understand that because of the urgency of the need to retrofit the project, I think they went ahead. They went ahead to have it retrofitted. Albeit the investigations why there was a need to retrofit, which was actually contained in the report of the consultant.
Thank you, Secretary. And again, Mr. Chairman, as a legislator, and at the end of the day, we wanted to come up with a more sound and clearer policies with regard to these particular issues. But I myself, Mr. Chairman, I am confused with the word retrofitting, how we are using these retrofitting provisions on spending taxpayers' money, etc. So I hope by the end of our investigation of this hearing and with the investigation that the DPWH is conducting, magkaroon po ng clarity o maklarify sa atin bilang mga legislators how we could be of help, Mr. Chairman. Yes,
I agree with Senator Villanueva. Although April 25 pa yung deadline, maybe on that point lang, how was the decision made na retrofit at babayan ng gobyerno next week or maybe 10 days from now? Can you just, ano lang naman yun papers lang naman yun di ba? Or an interview with the officials at that time. Kasi, syempre, kami ni Senator Joel, nagigilty din kami kasi nasa GAA yan. Inapprove yan. But to be fair to us, wala naman nakalagay doon na eto, pondohan nyo dahil may problema tong isang project na to. Di ba?
Your Honor, will do.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Secretary. Perhaps let me again remind everyone, no, na hindi to first time na nangyari. In 2022, yung Clarin Bridge in Bohol collapsed and claimed lives. That bridge was built in 1970s and was already due for replacement. Pero may mga namatay po doon. Dun sa Pangil Bay Bridge, was newly completed pero it showed defects just months after opening. Repairs were reportedly done, and Mr. Chairman, this was at the contractor's expense. No? So again, nalilito rin po ako bakit anong difference nung dalawa. No? This is not the first time, again, as I said a while ago, na may mga serious issues with our bridges considering that the collapse nitong Kabagan Santa Maria Bridge is not the first time that has happened. May we know, Mr. Secretary, if there are protocols and standard operating procedures in place for when such incidents happen? Kanina, binanggit ni Senator Cayetano na sa mga eroplano, sa mga helicopter, pagka merong hindi inaasahang pangyayari, may bumagsak, grounded po yung mga sasakyan na yun. Yung mga ganito po ba? Kasi, again, at the end of the day, yung mga nakikinig sa atin, I'm sure, dumadaan sila sa mga tulay natin. Just to give us a peace of mind na pag ganito, meron bang protocols na i-check natin yung mga importanteng mga bridges na na-check natin before na maaaring may problema na, Secretary?
Yes, Your Honor, under our watch this time. I think we have a program for inspecting all the major bridges, especially along the national roads. Primarily, I think priority is actually along the Dang Maharlika, because which is the most traveled road. And for us to be able to see whether there is a need to retrofit or rehabilitate already of these bridges that were constructed long before. Because we know that many of the bridges that were constructed many years back would have already reached their obsolescence at this point in time. So we now have a program for it, Your Honor, in 2020, started in 2023, 2024. We have already a report on the accomplishments on the retrofitting works.
I have an immediate concern, Secretary. Itong Magallanes Bridge, lahat ho yata kaming senador dumadaan dito. Safe naman po ito, no?
That also needs Magallanes.
So we have been hearing a lot of rumors
flyover.
that we need to replace it, we need to do something about it, etc.
Has to be
Anyway,
retrofitted, Your Honor.
yes, thank you, Secretary. Secretary, no, malapit na rin po ako magtapos. I just would like to get your thoughts about this, no? Kanina at patuloy pareho kami ni Senator Cayetano been wondering bakit hindi contractor ang sasagot dito, unlike dun sa nangyari dito sa Panggil Bridge, Secretary, which is parang weird. It appears that there's a different approach in this particular matter, wherein the government would pay, for example, for retrofitting without first determining who was responsible, and should we not be applying a stricter process here, perhaps, given that the bridge collapsed shortly after inauguration, Secretary?
Yes, Your Honor. I think there has to be a policy with regard to that. But for the reconstruction of the collapsed span of the bridge, it is still under the responsibility of the contractor. And the contractor is willing to reconstruct the bridge any time that the department would give the go signal to reconstruct. The only problem is we are now undertaking forensic examinations on the bridge so that we would know to what extent should it be reconstructed under the original design or improvement design, or there will be changes in order to strengthen it. So at this point, Your Honor, I think the contractor is just awaiting for the instructions of the department to reconstruct.
Yeah. Thank you, Secretary, and we will be waiting for that forensic examination. I also believe that's very important. And just to put on record, again, Mr. Secretary, ang dami yun, no? I'm about to go to Iloilo tomorrow. I remember there's also one in Iloilo, I think yung Ungka flyover, no? Isang problema din po yan. It was closed after 2 weeks due to subsidence, Mr. Chairman. And according to reports, it required another 300 million in additional works, pushing the cost to near 1 billion pesos. So, this is not an isolated case. And that's why I believe, Mr. Chairman, that this investigation, you calling this investigation is very timely, very urgent. Again, I go back to Cabagan Bridge collapse shortly after completion. May we know, Secretary, how did the Department of Public Works and Highways assess its structural readiness and safety before opening to the public? Was the bridge for example, load capacity properly monitored to prevent overloading. I remember seeing dun sa affidavit, no, dun sa item 10 nung affidavit, nakita ko, sabi nung tao dito, nung papasok pa lang kami sa bridge, lumabas ang isang flagman. Akala namin paparahin kami, pero nagsenya siya na pwede kaming pumasok, kaya tumuloy kami. And alam natin, no, yung mga reports, yung nabanggit sa atin na carrying gross weight of 60 tons, exceeding the bridge's posted 45-ton weight limit. Again, I go back to my question before we open or the bridge for public consumption, tapos yung protocols natin, and then meron bang mahigpit na nagmo-monitor kung sino lang yung pwedeng dumaan po dyan, gaya nangyari sa NLEX na ang tagal-tagal po na pinerwisyo yung mga taga Central Luzon.
Your Honor, for this bridge, the department has not really undertaken the protocols for it to be accepted by the department. No? There has to be loading test muna gagawin namin, and all the other looking at all the documents that will be submitted by the contractor. For this project, it has not yet been turned over to the department, and so it was under the responsibility of the contractor. The fellow that allowed actually the passage of these loaded vehicles is actually a flagman of the contractor.
Kanila. Okay.
So wala pa po kami doon.
Yeah. Okay. So, in that case, and I'm sure, Secretary, you are very much aware of this representation's passionate call to consistently call out overloading, no? Especially dun sa amin lugar doon sa Bulacan na pag-usapan natin ilang beses. Was there any way station, monitoring checkpoint or warning signage in place to stop itong mga overloaded trucks from crossing bridges, highways? And if not, meron po ba tayong newly completed infrastructure para dito sa ganitong initiative?
We have way bridges in national primary roads, Your Honor. Unfortunately, this bridge is located in a secondary road, and it has not yet been opened actually to.
Actually, Secretary, and I sound like a broken record. Dun ho sa Bulacan, aakyat po yung mga overloaded trucks dun sa Bukawi. Iiwasan yung weighing station ng NLEX. Iikot po doon, sisirain lahat yung buong road namin ng Governor Halili. Iikot po doon sa Marilao, iikot doon sa May Kawayan. Alam ng lahat ng tao yun, pero wala akong gumagawa. No? But actually, when I raised this, Secretary, during the budget hearing, and I know it's gonna happen, a week later, meron pong nag-check. Pero ngayon ho, balik na naman po. Ganun lagi ho eh. Mabilisan, no? But I commend yung mga kasamahan po natin. I also raised this doon sa DILG. I also raised this sa ilang mga kasamahan natin sa pamahalaan. And I think this is also very important. Again, thank you, Secretary. I will not take much of the time of our committee, and I will wait patiently for that report